The situation for Lou Elizondo has just gone from bad to worse. So obviously over the past couple of days we had the UAPDF congressional hearing, UAP Disclosure Fund. It's basically a brand new disclosure program for, it basically is another opportunity to put out some congressional hearings and put across evidence to Congress. Now, one of the key highlights from the very first UAPDF congressional hearing was that of Lou Elizondo basically putting forward a brand new UAP image. Now, the UAP image, of course, caught attention of everyone straight from the get-go as he announced this.
This is taken from a civilian pilot, right? Not a FLIR system, not an infrared system, but an average person with an average camera at 21,000 feet. And the object potentially is anywhere between 600 to 1,000 feet in diameter. This is a particular object, and it is silver.
So, obviously that got attention of everyone because they were like, whoa, this is absolutely phenomenal. But what was later found out was the fact that this photo was not actually verified or vetted prior to going into Congress, and it was just basically shown to Congress without any verification, which obviously got people's heckles up because they were like, whoa, how are you about to take this image right here into Congress, claim that it's a legitimate UFO or UAP without any verification, any vetting, any proof whatsoever? And some, I'm going to say some, not me, but some have gone as far as to state it's almost like going to court, accusing someone of murder, and then taking some potential fake evidence in that you don't know is absolutely legitimate to try and prove a case. So it's a bit of a situation, and Lou Elizondo has caught a lot of heat for this. Even going as far as to claim that apparently this was between 600 and 1,000 feet wide. So that is obviously substantially large. And the internet obviously took this and were like, nope, it's absolutely fake. Here's why, all the rest of it. Is it completely fake? I guess the jury's out on it. No one actually fully knows whether this is completely legitimate, whether it's completely fake. But, people have, of course, jumped to the conclusion that this is completely fake, and have tried to, over on Reddit, over on Twitter, tried to debunk the image that has been shown. But moving forwards, it's kind of got a little bit worse for Lou Elizondo, as another well-known UFO researcher who, should be collaborating with the likes of Lou Elizondo has come forward to basically criticize Lou Elizondo, and his name is Richard Dolan. Now, Richard Dolan has, come out to criticize the former Pentagon official over the controversial UFO photo presented during the congressional briefing on May 1st of 2025. Now, the image that Lou Elizondo depicted was apparently 600 to 1,000 foot wide disc-shaped object and was quickly debunked by skeptics, allegedly, including Mick West, as likely showing two crop irrigation circles mistaken for a UFO due to an optical illusion. Now, Dolan expressed concern that Elizondo's decision to present this unverified image was a significant error, even going as far as to argue it could potentially undermine the credibility of the UAP disclosure movement. And he stated that such mistakes provide ammunition for debunkers and skeptics, potentially overshadowing legitimate testimony and hindering the efforts to overcome institutional resistance to UAP disclosure. Now, posts from May 2025, including from accounts like Red Panda Koala and Vetted Podcast, highlight Dolan's remark, emphasizing his frustration at Elizondo's photo blunder and could potentially feed skepticism. Some ex-users have also pointed out perceived contradictions in Dolan's own past endorsements and questionable claims, suggesting a nuanced tension within the UFO research community. So obviously I'm trying to be balanced here, right? Because I don't want to out and out say, yes, Lou Elizondo is absolutely faking evidence and bringing it in and trying to testify because he's a disinformation agent, like many people are claiming right now. But there are, there's potential conflict within the community. But in this interview clip right here, Richard, of course, sounds off against Lou Elizondo.
The consensus out there is that this is a standard irrigation pit. I mean, this has been mercilessly ridiculed and mocked online. And, you really do have to acknowledge here. I mean, Yes, Lou did state he cannot vouch for the veracity of the photograph. He didn't take it. It says not vetted. But you really have to think here. This is the second time that he has stepped into something like this. This happened about less than a year ago, with another photograph that was shown not to be an actual UFO. So, you really have to just recognize that this is a time for, you've got to be careful when you're putting evidence out there. This was not vetted. It is questionable evidence. And clearly the skeptics are going to jump all over it. You've got Representatives Luna and Burleson. They're staking political capital on this briefing, which included very significant claims about, recovered non-terrestrial craft, NORAD detection capabilities. We'll get to that. So this distraction, that's really what this looks like it could be, is very likely to overshadow testimonies from other witnesses who are describing important encounters. Tim Gallaudet's one of them, the Admiral. He describes some very well-documented Navy encounters. And so I think, this mistake is going to create exactly the ammunition that skeptics want, which is instead of where the focus should be, which is on the very substantial sensor data, multiple military witnesses, all the scientific analyses presented by other panelists. They're going to jump on this and dismiss the whole thing. The UAP disclosure movement cannot afford basic errors when you're fighting decades of institutional resistance. I guess I'll just leave that there.
I mean, it's a very interesting point that's being made. Of course, like I say, Richard Dolan has had his inconsistencies in the past as well, allegedly, right? But the general consensus that I'm seeing online is the fact that, Lou Elizondo bringing an unverified image into Congress to try and, put it across. Yes, he does say that it's not verified or vetted, but at the same time, you're the one that's bringing it forward, and you are the one in the position of power in that situation to be able to testify in front of Congress and to be able to say, this is potential evidence of a UAP. The least that could have been done, and this is the consensus online, is, a basic level of verification, a basic level of vetting, because this was picked apart by the internet within hours, and the internet took it and basically ran with it. So, yeah, it does bring into question all the things that Lou says in the future as well, and, it brings into the question, should Lou Elizondo be the one testifying in front of Congress if, he's going to bring now 2 images of potentially faked UAP evidence? Not faked as in, Lou's faked it. I mean, not legitimate UAP evidence is what I mean to say. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. It seems like Lou Elizondo cannot catch a break at the moment. He is, on the buckle. He's on the ropes. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell out of that like button and subscribe. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.